What is up, good people? What is going on? Let's make sure everything is good to go. If you're here on TikTok, what's up? If you're new, welcome for the first time. If you're not, welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube on the replay, and I'm going to have to start doing some YouTube lives or look into how to get that done pretty soon. But if you're on the replay on YouTube, what's up? Welcome. Drop a comment below as well. Show us some love there, and we'll make sure we get to all the questions and comments there as well. But what's up? I'm here to serve you guys on this Wednesday night to answer any of your questions that you got, and to remind you that we have a masterclass on April 11th. April 11th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you sign up at leveluptheprept.com. At the time of this video, we have over 800 pre-PTs already signed up. It's our biggest masterclass, lesson, training, video, whatever you want to call it, of the year. If you're watching this on replay and you're on YouTube and you're like, dang, I missed April 11th, don't worry. We do this 3 times a year around January, March, April, then before the application cycle opens in June. So we do this 3 times a year at the start of the year to get you guys rocking and rolling. So if you're watching our replay, just make sure you have that noted as well. So I'm here to answer your questions as you guys join in. Drop them below. And if you're new, make sure that you're in our world, because we got so much stuff going on. If you just hit the link in our bio, if you're on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube on a replay, go to our website or one of our social media sites and hit the link in our bio, and you'll see just a bunch of stuff there that you can start getting a head start on. Or you can just go to our website, preptgrind.com. And that's what we do. We got everything for you guys if you just get in our world. So drop your questions below as I'm waiting for questions. Something that just came up yesterday was about the PTCAS application cycle opening this year and when it's going to open and how that works and all that stuff. So I'm gonna ramble on a little bit about that, but as you guys know, once people start joining on, if it gets busy tonight, if a lot of people hop on and see this, you guys know that the questions, if you're returning, you know that the questions start flying depending on the night. So if you have any, drop them below so you're first on the list to get yours answered. But with the PTCAS application cycle, what that really is and what that really means is that PTCAS stands for physical therapist, because you guys are going to be physical therapist centralized application service. And it's just a big system that you guys use to apply to as many schools as you want technically. All schools do not use this system, but like 90% of them use it just because it's easier on everybody. So that's what the PTCAS system is. Now, what they just started doing last year is that they were opening up the cycle to you guys early, so you guys can get a head start, get your mind together, get your brain together, make it work, calm your nerves a little bit, and you guys can start putting in information without the fear of anything being deleted. Because if you try to start early, you can only start on a few things, and you can check out my TikTok below or scroll a little bit and you'll see a list of what you can start on and what you can't, what will be deleted from cycle to cycle. But with a soft opening, you can start early on your stuff. You just cannot hit submit. You cannot hit the submit button yet because it's not open to all for all the schools yet. You can't submit your application until around that July 1st time, which is the hard opening or official opening. So what's happening again this year is that there's a soft opening. So June 15th, a soft opening is happening, and you can start opening up your application, make an account if you don't have one already, or pull some stuff forward if you already have, and start working on your application for this upcoming cycle. Then around July 1st, if July 1st starts on a weekend or lands on a weekend, then it will be the following day. Then you can go and technically it's open for you to hit submit. Now, I don't know how many people are going to hit submit on July 1st. It's not that big a deal, but that's when it officially opens and all the schools will be listed on there, and you can choose your schools and hit submit, and it's fully open then. So that's really what happens with the soft launch. It just started last year. Previous years, it didn't always happen like that. It was just like July 1st or June 29th. Boom, we at it. Let's hit the ground running and let's go. There's no soft, none of this. So that's how it works. I already know I'm going to be answering this a lot, so I'm prepared for it, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up because it's April, then you got May, then you got June. Oh my gosh. So that's how it works. All right, let's get to some of these. Taking out loans. You just go. So the easiest place to do that is on FAFSA, right? FAFSA. I always get that confused. But if you just go to the government lending program, the FAFSA, like you guys used in undergrad, that's the easiest way to take out loans in school or before starting school. It's the same thing as undergrad, except with grad school, they just give you more money. So it's the same process. They have you fill out a little bit more paperwork because you might be taking out different types of loans this time, like 1 or 2 different types, just depending on your situation. But yeah, just go to the FAFSA website, and that's how it works. If you have questions, go to your school's registrar's office or financial office, and they can help you out more with that. What are your thoughts on taking a gap year to gain some more shadowing hours and study for the GRE? Yeah, gap years are fine. I have no problem with gap years at all, especially if you have a plan for the gap year. If you're just like, oh, I'm not ready, I need a gap year and I'm just gonna, we'll see what happens, then a gap year is not doing anything for you. Then it's gonna turn into another gap year and another and another. But if you have a plan for a gap year or gap years, yeah, go for it. Get the hours required. Don't put too much stress on the hours. Study for the GRE, get the score you want, retake or take any classes that are missing, learn about the profession, work and save some money. All that stuff is great. Just don't take a gap year and just do nothing, then come back for the application cycle and say, yeah, I'm ready. Because a gap year is really a gap, 8 months? A gap 7 months before the cycle opens again? Like, you don't have as much time as people think. Like, you still got to be putting in the work. You still got to be moving and shaking, because it's not really a gap year. It's a gap few months if you really do the math on it. So yeah, I have no problem with it. Finished last practical for PT school today. So you've been in PT school for a while, depending on your on the length of your program. But congrats, celebrate all those wins. I know you already have, since you've been in PT school for a while, but celebrate. Don't let anybody tell you like, oh yeah, but you still have this, but you still have boards, but you still have to find a job. Like, just celebrate, enjoy. Every win counts as a pre-PT and as a PT student. So congrats. When should we be doing all this? Like senior year or earlier? So that question can get a little technical. It really depends on your situation, of course. But let's just say you're the textbook students. All of you on here, let's just say you're the textbook students. And you are a pre-PT and you're going through undergrad and you know you want to do PT, and like you're just going to go straight for it, right? Then if that's the case, you're going to apply the summer between your junior and senior year. So the summer before your senior year, you're going to apply. Best case scenario, you get accepted into PT school between the fall and the spring. Then you start PT school after graduation, and you start PT school in, let's just say, August. So it's a continuous thing. You don't take a gap year. There's no time off. You graduate senior year, you take the summer off, then you start in August or September. If you want to do that and that's what you're thinking of, then that's when you need to apply the summer before your senior year. Now, you do not have to do any of that. Don't hear that and say, oh my gosh, I'm behind. This is my senior year. Relax. I'm talking about the stereotypical student, textbook student. You can take a gap year. You can take time off. You can retake classes. You can take 2 gap years for all I care. You don't have to do that. But that's when you would technically get started. Now, if it's past your senior year, or you graduated already and you found PT, or whatever your situation is, now when you should get started on all that is as soon as you want. You can see what you have, and you can see what the schools you're interested in want, You can say, okay, what can I do with my life situation now with getting into PT school? How many classes do I need? What do I need to retake? Is it the GRE? Is it hours? Is it this and this? Is it that? Okay, let's see how soon I can start with my life situation. And that's when you can be starting on all of this. So, good question, but it definitely depends on life situations. So, all schools open in that July deadline? Or is it that just the soonest schools can open their application? So how it works, good question. So technically all the schools have their application open for you to apply to on July 1st. Okay, so July 1st comes, you log into PTCast after like 5 p.m. Eastern time or something like that. There are some bugs here and there, so let's just say July 2nd. You give it a day, let all the people freak out. You open it July 2nd. All the schools in the PTCast system should be clickable, meaning you can apply and start their application on PTCast then. Okay? So all the schools, yes, can open their app after July 1st because it's now open. The cycle is open. It's the official launch. It's game time. Okay? So that's how that works. Now the deadlines for each school can vary. Let's just say Duke University has a deadline for September 1st. University of Miami has a deadline for October 15th. USC, University of Southern California, has a deadline for, November 15th. It's usually on the 1st and the 15th, start in the middle of the month, where these deadlines are. Okay? So that's how it works with the deadlines. So I hope I kind of covered that answer from all different angles there, but yes. Good question. That's how it works in July. All schools open their application. It should be clickable, and you can go through the normal application after July 1st. Do you recommend being a member of the APTA? Ooh, I lost it. As a student? Yeah, that's fine. Usually schools, at least my school, Andrews University, had us already signed up, like the first day or second day of orientation. Like, it was just, all right, fill out this card, sign it, it's already in your tuition, this and that, boom, bang. So a lot of schools do that. If they don't, then yeah, there's student discounts. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's like half off or something like that. So yeah, join the APTA, learn about it, learn about all the sections. It's your profession after all. So definitely learn about your professional organization. So yeah, be a student. Good news is that usually, for most schools that I know of, it's already a part of your thing. What do I do if I don't get into PT school on the first try? I don't know. You let me know. And I'm saying that because it depends on what you want to do. I know what you're really asking. Of course, you're asking, okay, I want to apply again. What do I do? I know. But for everybody else listening, it's a good learning experience. What do I do after I don't get in the first try? Well, the first thing to do is really reflect. What do you want to do? Do you want to apply again? Do you want to take a gap year? Do you want a different career? How are you thinking about this whole thing? Let's take a breather to process stuff first. That's what you should do first. And after you do that, go through your emotions, figure stuff out, look in the mirror, give yourself some hard truth. Then after that, you need to make sure that when you are reapplying, that you're not reapplying the same way and not making the same mistakes and doing the same thing, expecting a different result, or whatever the saying says. So I recommend being very strategic this second time, whether it's applying to less schools or more schools, or applying to schools in your stats range, or retaking the GRE, or this and that. Sorry if you guys hear people out there, there's kids here over godchildren and stuff like that. So if you hear them, they're doing their thing. But if you don't get in on the first try, you just have to make sure that you're very strategic on the second time. You can't go in there playing around. And I know this because I've been rejected. That first time it was like, I wasn't lollygagging totally, but I wasn't as strategic as I was the second time. So when you do reapply, everything needs to be good. Everything needs to be on point so you don't have to go through this rejection again and again. And that's coming from somebody who has been rejected. So that's what you need to do. Of course, it gets more detailed. DM us. If you are DMing us, somebody DM'd us the other day. I don't know if you're live, but make sure your privacy settings are open, because I can't DM that person back. Sorry. I'm trying to, but open your privacy settings. Is it better to apply early for rolling admissions? Yes, it is better to apply early. Because if you apply early, rolling admissions means as the applications come in, they're accepting students. So if you can apply early, do it. But don't be rushing nothing. If you're like, oh my gosh, it's July 2nd. Casey said on TikTok I need to apply early. Cut that out. Don't do that. If you need to wait till October 15th, if you need to wait till September whatever to have all your stuff in and have a good application, do that. Don't be rushing nothing, making no mistakes like I almost did when I was applying. All right? So yes, it's better to apply early, but I don't want you hitting that button on July 6th saying, oh, I'm ready. Come on. None of that. But good question, though. I'm working to improve everything to get to the schools I want to go to. Is it insane to decline? I'm guessing you're asking about... let me know if you're still on, Rachel. You might have to DM me this question. Oh, okay. I scrolled down a little bit. I see. Is it crazy to decline an offer from a school? Oh, I lost it. Is it crazy to decline an offer from a school I got accepted to a school I don't want to attend? No, it's not crazy. It's your money. It's your time. It's your career. It's your life. It's your choice. Just like the schools can choose what applicants they want, you can choose what schools you want to go to or not. You are the customer. If you want to wait for a better deal, if you want to save money, if you want to do that, you are the customer. Don't be rushed into nothing. Because the worst thing that can happen is like, all right, I'll go to this school and it's this much money, or you're not ready, or family stuff. Then 3 years later, 5 years, 7 years later, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. And now I hate physical therapy. Not because you hate the profession and you hate what you're doing, but you hate the situation you put yourself in for whatever reason. So no, it's not crazy. It's definitely not crazy. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Do you still have a career option around PT if you don't go to PT school after getting a bachelor's? So you're asking about major, I'm guessing. So if you're majoring in something around PT, exercise science, kinesiology, this and that, do you still have career options? So yes, how I answer this question is a little unorthodox to most people. Most people would be like, yeah, you can do exercise phys, you can do personal training, you can do this and that. And that is true. You can still do something around that healthcare major if you have a bachelor's in something healthcare PT related to get into PT school. Because here's the thing. You can get a job in anything. You know how many people are out here doing jobs that they did not major in? You are not stuck in this PT healthcare realm. If you want to do finance, if you want to do music, if you want to do art, construction, if you want to go to trade school after that, you're not stuck. You have a bachelor's degree, which is great. You can go into the military, and since you have a bachelor's degree, get bumped up the ranks and go into the Army Reserves and this and that. You are not stuck within this small sliver of stuff to do in your career. You have a long life to live. So yes, you can do whatever you want. You're not bound. You have career options if you have your bachelor's in something PT healthcare related. You do. You can go work at a call center. You can do anything. You have your bachelor's degree. Go explore if you need to. If you want to do something totally different. If you want to reapply and try again for PT school, that's a different situation. But yes, you do have options. I hope I didn't miss any questions, guys. If I did, please ask again, and I'll be more than happy to answer. How does it look if you're on the wait list for a school? How does it look? That's only a question for the schools you're applying to. Some schools are very transparent with like, you're number 3 on the wait list, you're number 4, you're number 16. Other schools are like, we don't do that, but you are moving on the wait list. Just depends on the school. But how does it look? That's how it looks. That's how it looks. But the wait list, a lot of people forget about the wait list, is that the schools are waiting on people too. So the wait list works like, okay, somebody got accepted. The school's like, okay, is this person gonna accept my acceptance offer? And that person's like Rachel we just talked about. She's like, should I decline? Oh my gosh, I don't know. And that school is waiting on Rachel like, well, we got people waiting on the wait list. I don't know. So that school is waiting on Rachel to make a decision in order to pick the people from the wait list and move them up. So the school is waiting on a student, and the student's waiting on another school or their decision or this and that. So it's really like a traffic jam. So that's how it looks from a different angle too. Do you have advice on how to get observation hours? Glad you asked. Go to observationhours.com. The link is in the bio, or just go to observationhours.com. You can sign up for ours, virtual observation hours. We do them 3 times a month. So that's where you can start. That's the advice. Don't wait. Go hop off. Sign up now. How does it work? We explain it all. Just sign up. Just sign up. It's explained. Get your hours. Start there. Number 1. Whether you're on YouTube replay or TikTok live, observationhours.com. Stop playing. Let's go. But now in person, what you need to do, this is depending on your state. If you're in places like Atlanta, Georgia, Florida, Texas, the more open states, usually they're just like, all right, yeah, come on in. And you just go in there and ask, what's your policy? Are you accepting volunteers? How does that work? Just go in there with open-ended questions. Don't go in there saying, I need observation hours. I'm applying to PT school. I'm a pre-PT. Go in there saying, hi, I'm blank. I'm applying to PT school. I'm a pre-PT student. I just wanted to know what your policy was, or if you're accepting observation hour volunteer students. Can I talk to somebody about that? How does that work? Do I need to sign up on a corporate website? That's all. That's it. Same thing for hospitals. Same thing if you're in a more strict state, like Minnesota, California, a state like that. Same thing. Just go in there with an open-ended question. What's your policy? How are things working right now? That's all you got to do. I have a 3.5. I don't know if that's going to affect my chances. How important is it to have a good GPA when applying? This whole classes online has affected mine. So with GPAs and applying to PT school, what you need to know is that the schools don't care about how holistic you are, don't care about what kind of experience you got, none of that until you meet whatever minimum GPAs they want. Now, for some schools in your situation, your 3.5 might be way above the threshold and you got nothing to worry about. But for another school, they might be like, well, we averagely accept 3.8 GPAs. So then in that case, you might have to retake some classes. You might have to do this. You might have to recalculate some things and see, are you a good match statistically with that school? Because for one school, your 3.5 might not be good enough, or it might be on the fringe. Another school, you might be blowing them out the water. But the thing is, are you good enough? Is this going to affect you? I don't know. What's my GPA? All that doesn't matter until you meet whatever minimums they want. So if you got a 2.3 GPA and the school's minimum is a 2.8 or a 3.0, you got to get up there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be nice because you guys deserve the truth. That's how it works. That's how it works. I'd rather me tell you and give you the hard truth than you apply and get an immediate rejection from their computer system. Because what happens is you put in your GPA, you send off your PTCAS application cycle. The school's computer system is trying to make it easy on the department chair and on the faculty to assess as little students as possible. So if you come in there with below all the stuff they want, the computer system's going to read all that, say, nope, you didn't meet this, you didn't meet that, rejected. And they don't even know your name. It's just the computer automation system. So that's what you have to focus on first. You in your situation, your 3.5, you're in a good place. Now it comes down to focusing on everything else. Go watch my YouTube series playlist, how to get into PT school in 3 minutes or less, or how to stand out in 3 minutes or less. That's what you need to be watching. But if you're on the lower end, way lower end, you got to get the GPA up. Good question though. What are the best questions to ask when observing a PT? Ask whatever you want. And I'm not saying that to be rude or anything, but it's true. It really is true, because if a student comes into me, I'm not expecting them to say, oh, these are the questions I remembered from Tik TOk on April 7th on a Wednesday night. No, just ask whatever comes. Just be more interested in them than you. And what usually helps with this is you doing some more research on the profession and on the clinical areas that you're interested in. Or what else you can do is email or talk to or phone call the person you're going to observe and say, what kind of patients do you see? Or what kind of patients are going to be on your caseload this week? Then you do some research on that. And now you have this big bank. You have this big bag. You have this big piggy bank of information to go in there and fire off questions with, whether that's about the profession or clinically. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Don't go in there thinking, what's the best questions to ask? Go in there thinking, what's the best information I can come in there with to use as ammo to use to ask different questions. So if you go in there and you learned all about the whole lower extremity because they got knee replacements, hip replacements, an ankle sprain coming in, a meniscus tear, amputee, whatever that is, and then now you go learn about all that stuff, and now you come in saying, I learned about this, how does that work, how is this different from Google, I saw this video, watch it real quick, do you do that, do you do this? Killing it, and you didn't have to remember what I said on April 7th on the Tik TOk Live. So that's what I would do. Somebody's asking about pre-PT credits would transfer to a PTA program. I think I missed that question. If you're still here, let me know, because that one can get a little dicey depending on how you're answering or how you're asking the question. Pre-PT credits transferring to a PTA program. Yeah, I need some more context on that. Send us a DM. Make sure your privacy settings are open so I can answer. What advice would you give someone who feels like their GPA is the only thing going for them? First advice is to go watch the YouTube playlist series, How to Stand Out in 3 Minutes or Less. Definitely go check that out, because you're saying that, or you're feeling like that, because you don't know enough about other stuff. You have a great GPA, you have great grades, you did everything by the textbook, but what else is there? It's kind of if I'm reading that right. Who feels like their GPA is the only thing going for them. Yeah, you just got to know more. You just got to learn more about the profession you want to get into, because this isn't about PT school. You're not applying to you're not on this live stream to get into PT school. You're on this live stream to be a physical therapist. So what do you know about physical therapy? What do you know about the profession? What do you know about the APTA? What do you know about PTCAS? What do you know about CSM? What do you know about the next conference? What do you know about the sections in CSM? What do you know about the student debt going on? What do you know about occupational therapy and PT and how they work together in a skilled nursing facility? What do you know about CEUs? Like, if you know more, then you'll have more to offer. So you just got to build up your knowledge about the profession and the schools you're applying to, and then you'll become more confident, because you only have the GPA going for you because that's all you got. So you got to get more. Finished my first observation hours with virtual observation hours. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, people. No slacking. Good stuff, Bella Wags. Welcome to virtual observation hours. Think about doing home health observation hours. How much do you think I should do? As much as you want and as much as the school requires. I'm not going to say do 100 hours, because 100 hours, that doesn't matter. If you need to get 5, or if you want to get 5, or that's all they're offering, get 5. If you can just get 1, get 1. If you can get 24, get 24. That's the good news. That's the fortunate news. It doesn't matter. Get what the school wants for hours. See what their requirements are. Then go on about your application from there. When should you start applying to PT school? When you're ready. Watch this replay when you're ready. Or between your junior and senior year if you are ready. So the summer before your senior year. How flexible is the schedule? How flexible is the schedule for a PT? Is it a typical 9 to 5? Oh, how flexible is the schedule? So that depends on the job you're working at and the setting you're working at too. So for me, I work 4/10s. So it's not really flexible. I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10-hour days. So it's just how it is. My Wednesdays and weekends are flexible. But if you work a home health job, or if you do mobile health, or mobile PT, or you have your own practice, or you do as needed work, or you're part-time, that's where it gets more flexible. But for the stereotypical outpatient job like mine, it's pretty 9 to 5-ish. Last clinical of PTA school, graduate in May. What are your thoughts on a bridge program? Oh, this might be where the other question is coming from. I did a video about bridge programs not too long ago, so scroll down a little bit, but I have no problem with the bridge program. The main thing about bridge programs is that bridge programs are there to make sure that you work. Bridge programs, you're required to work 20 hours-ish while in school. DPT programs, you're not required to work. Other than that, they're the same thing. So if you want to work and you want to make money and you want to work in PT school while you're a PT and keep using that, go to a bridge program or apply to those 2 bridge programs, because they're going to require you to work 20 hours a week or something like that. They're going to make sure that you work. In the DPT program, they're like, we don't care. If you want to work, if you can work, if that fits in our schedule, if you go to a hybrid program, all the time in between, if you want to work, you can work. We can't stop you. You're an adult. That's the only real difference between a bridge program and a regular DPT program. So, yeah, good question. Gap year. No problems with the gap year. Take it. Just don't be lazy in a gap year. I said this before, but a gap year is really a gap 8-7 months. It's not really a gap year. It's a gap. It's gap months. If you're planning on applying that immediate next cycle after your gap year. So yeah, good questions, guys. Good questions. I think we're good. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds to see if anything pops up with more questions. There we go. It always happens. Let's see. Gotcha. All right. How is being black in the PT medical world? I'm the only black person in my class of 60. So I'm guessing you mean PT school, right? Only black person in your PT school of 60. Fortunately for me, I work in a African American community, like a black community. If you think of any black community in the U.S., whether it's Atlanta, Chicago, I'm in Chicago, New York, it's your stereotypical black community. We got Motown playing, people coming in with bedazzled hats and linen suits and Jordans on. It's just a good time. It's just black people. It's how it is. It's how it is. So I'm in a fortunate situation. The job I picked is in a black community there's lower income. Yes, there's higher income, everything in between. But like 97% of my population is black, so it's great. It's myself, another black PTA, I'm the black PT, a black young lady PTA, then a white PTA, and our clinic director is mixed with Asian and white as well. So fortunately, in my experience, it's been great so far. But I know a lot of other people's experience, it's the stereotypical kind of corporate America stuff that they have to go through, especially if they're in an outpatient kind of world. So it can be difficult. It can be the same thing as the outside world that you have to deal with. If you work with a lot of non-black patients, you could deal with racial things here and there. Just be open with them. Be open with your clinic director. Make sure you're around people that you love and are bringing you up if you have a bad day, or if there's something you're not accepting, confront it in a professional manner. All the stuff that you've already done to get here as a black person in PT school, it's the same things that are going to translate into your job as a PT. So nothing really changes. It's not horrible. It's not bad. It's just the same. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. It doesn't change drastically because you're a PT out in the world. It's just the workforce. So the same stuff you can imagine being in the workforce as a black person might come your way as a black PT. So yeah. If message, I'm not sure. I can't tell by if you're a male or a female by the but message me. I'll get you into a Telegram group, and just message me. I'll hook you up with some stuff if you don't know about this stuff already. During undergrad, I think I missed that. Oh yeah, I got that one. How did you start the application process? You go to PTCast. Watch one of my last TikToks I did about how it starts. You go to PTCast when the cycle opens in June 15th, and you start on your application. That's how you start. I have a good feeling that there's a lot more to this question, but I want to know specifics of what you mean start, because start is a big thing. What I want you to do, Cassidy, is go to our link in bio and get the Start to PT School Guide. That's what I want you to do. That's your assignment. Start to PT School Guide. Get that link in the bio. That should help a lot with your question. Good GRE score, 300. 150 verbal, 150 quantitative for writing score. How would I class these hours? This summer, I have an internship that is technically sports performance, and it is in a PT clinic. How would you log the hours? Link in bio, go to our verification form log. Link in bio, scroll all the way to the bottom and click that verification form, and you can use that form to log it. I have a 3.3 GPA. Sad face. Why the sad face? Why the sad face? 3.3 GPA is definitely doable to get into PT school. Plenty of people have got in with a 3.3. You're okay. You just got to make sure you match up with the schools. Don't be applying to a school out of your league who only accepts 3.9s. Then you're gonna get disappointed. So 3.3 is fine. Don't be sad. Don't be too sad. Do you need to take physics? Yes. You need to take physics 1 and physics 2. General physics 1, general physics 2. That's the safest bet. Safest bet. So those are those. Let's see. A lot of the same questions came through. So let's see. I have to retake a class to fulfill the DPT grade requirements. Will PT school hold that against me? Or will they give me the benefit of the doubt? So that's going to depend on the school as well. Some schools average the two grades together. So if you got an A and a C, they'll average them together, and you got a B and some change. Some schools take the highest grade. So if they take the highest grade, they will not hold it against you. But schools are used to people retaking classes. Like, that's nothing new. They're not going to hold it against you. Oh my gosh, you had to retake. They're just going to either factor it in and average them together, or they're going to take the highest one. What advice? Freshmen in college wanting to be a PT in the future. Learn about the profession. That's the best advice I can give. Either whether that's watching us or YouTubing stuff or day in the life of this, or just learn about it. Learn about it and learn about other professions too, so you can compare and contrast as to what you want to do. It's a big decision to make a career choice at 16, 17, 18, 22. It's a big decision. With the amount of money you're going to spend and the time you're going to spend in this career. So just learn about the professions and make sure that you can accurately compare and contrast by having the most information possible. It's easy to say, oh, okay, I'll compare and contrast. PT makes this much, this makes that much. All right, this one's better because they make that much. Like, you need more information. The internet's there. Get to work, and that'll help you make the best decision. Did I answer your question about the internship? I did, but I'll answer it again. It looks like you came back on. Internship for the summer. Oh, I was saying go to our link in bio, scroll down to the bottom and get your verification form, because we give you guys a verification form and a log sheet, so you can use that to log your hours, and that will have all the information the PT has to put on there for your hours to be verified. So use that. That's really all I said. Get the verification form from us, download it, and use that to log your hours. That's all you really have to do. I think I saw some more come in, but I think I got them. Let's give it a few seconds, see if any more come. If I missed any questions, just send us a DM, but make sure your privacy settings are appropriate or on so I can respond. Because if they're not on or working right and I respond is not, then you're thinking I'm ignoring your messages, but I'm not. So make sure that's there. Best piece of advice for a college freshman. I'll answer this one again, but I basically just answered it. Learn about PT. What are you getting into? Just like you learn about your favorite athlete or your favorite musician or your favorite TikTok star or your favorite YouTuber or your favorite car. You got to learn about what you want to get into. Got to learn about it so that you make the best decision possible as to whether you want to get into PT school or you want to do pharmacy or you want to be a physician or you want to go to trade school and be an electrician or you want to join the military. You got to learn to make the best decision for you. Then if you do know you want to be in PT, after you gather all that information, then keep your grades as high as possible. I'm not going to make it more complicated. Our whole platform is about what to do to get into PT school. I can blow your head off, and I'm not going to do that. Keep your grades as high as possible and learn about PT. Biggest things you need to do right now. All right. I think this might be the last one here. Should I go to a more research-based undergrad? I'm debating between Cal State and UC. Go to the cheapest undergrad. Go to the cheapest undergrad. Community college, Cal State, UC, whichever. I know the Cal State UC system. I forgot which one's more expensive out there, but whatever's the cheapest. Cheapest. You will thank yourself in 7 years. You'll thank yourself in 3 years. Cheapest. Is that Fresno? CSU Fresno? I'm guessing the F. I'm guessing you don't want to go there. But whether it's the cheapest or not, just on the lower end of the cost spectrum, you're going to thank yourself. Whether you got to live with your parents and go to community college to get these some of these prereqs done, then you go to one of the universities. Oh, Fullerton. Oh, gotcha. Lowest possible. It's April 7th, 2021. If y'all hearing this here on replay, on April 7th, 2028, you're going to be like, man, I'm so glad I went to the cheaper school. I'm telling you. All right, I think we're going to, all right, let's see. Doesn't matter which PT school you go to. No. Kind of the same thing I mentioned with the undergrad schools. Cheapest PT schools you can go to is what's possible for you. Whether that's one of the California schools or you go across the country or you go to a state school in Texas or you get a scholarship, keep the cost as low as you can. As low as you can. 2028, 2031, you're going to thank yourself and me so much. It doesn't matter what PT school you go to. They can give a crap less. They do not care. They want your license number. The patients who ask you what school you went to are just asking to have a nice conversation. They can give a crap less where you go to school. I'm just being real. You can go to the most expensive. You can go to the middle of the pack. You can go to the lower, but as much as you can, coming from somebody who is technically debt-free right now, only 2.5 years out of PT school, if I wanted to liquidate my assets and be debt-free, I could and have plenty of money left over. Keep it low. That should be the name of this TikTok. Keep it low. Keep the cost low. This TikTok live. Thank you. No probs. Starting to fill out information for PTCast, but I don't plan on applying until later. I need more context on that question, but later as in when? Later as in September? It's April right now. Later as in, when is later? If you mean like 2023 later, applying summer 2022. You can see one of my other TikToks about how I explain that. June 22. So not June 21, not this summer, next summer. If you're talking about next summer, you can start on some things. You can go to our Instagram or scroll down on TikTok. I explain what things you can start on. So you can start on some things, but some things will be deleted. You want to apply next summer. Okay. So yeah, you can go to that post, scroll down a little bit, or go to our Instagram. You can start on some things, but other things will be deleted. So just look for that post, and that'll explain it. But you can get started now, but It's not the end of the world if you don't. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Yes, no biggie. Don't feel like you have to get started now, but check out that post. All right, good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. I might be on here Sunday. If not, I'll try to be on here Sunday. I usually post the information on when I'm going to be on Instagram on Wednesdays or Sundays. So just look out for our Instagram stories. If you want us to text you, go to our link in bio and you'll see how to join our text community. And I can start sending out texts like, hey, tonight I'm going live on TikTok. If you guys want that, let me know. Sign up for our text link in bio. And yeah, if you're on YouTube as well, same thing. Get to know us. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, the YouTube stuff. That helps us a lot. I'm going to try and go on YouTube lives more often because that's where it's popping. I watch YouTube all the time. I don't watch TV. I don't even be watching sports that much. YouTube all day. So I'm going to try to make sure I'm on there too, making sure we have our presence there. Applying this summer, don't have enough observation hours. Go to observationhours.com. Make sure you get those there from us. And if you don't have enough hours, either you can bust your ass and get hours now, or if your state is not allowing that or no clinics in the area are allowing that, contact the schools you're applying to and see what their policy is with hours. Do they not care about hours this year? Do they care about them? How many do you need? Do you only need 25 instead of 100? Just kind of learn about what the situation is with those hours. Outpatient shadowing is your normal clinic. It's your normal PT clinic that you see driving by. It's just a clinic. Inpatient is the patient is in the hospital. That's how you can think about it. Inpatient is in the hospital. Outpatient is out of the hospital. Kind of. But to make it simple, that's how it works. Should you apply fall of senior year or after graduation? It depends when you want to start physical therapy school. That's the big question. When do you want to start physical therapy school? If you want to start right after you graduate, you need to apply the summer before your senior year. If you apply after your senior year, then you won't start PT school until the next year. Most of the times. There's some schools that have multiple application openings, but it gets a little complicated. Thank you. Pre-PT students only need outpatient hours. Depends on the school you're applying to. Some schools still want inpatient. Some schools only want outpatient this year. Depends on what they want. So just make sure you know that. Peroneal tendinitis, because I'm dying. So with any tendinitis, you got to think of it like a scab or a scar or a cut. To make it simple, I'm just making it simple. When you get into PT school, you're going to learn all about it. But with a cut or a scar, you need to make sure the scar tissue is gone. So massage it out, roll it out, try needling, something like that to get that stuff in there moving. Then you need to put tension on that tendon to make sure it's strong and healing in the right direction. If you don't do nothing, it's going to grow back all weak and I don't want to say disformed, but the fibers aren't going to be parallel. And we need them to be parallel. So you need to do the exercises either you see on Instagram or you go to PT or you Google them. You need to put tension on that tendon. That's where I'll keep it. Finishing your bachelor's or starting PTA school. Depends what you want. Low-key stressed. Where do you start? Go to Start to PT School Guide, link in bio. Start to PT School Guide, link in bio. That's where you should start. Then start PTA school, or it depends on what you want. If you want the DPT, but PTA school seems easier, but you really want PT, then you gotta have a come to Jesus moment with like, okay, I'm just gonna go for this because that's what I'm really want. Even though it's scary, it's stressing me out, all this stuff. It depends what you want and what you're gonna regret or not. So yeah, good question though. Doing ABCs, that's fine, but at some point you're gonna have to put some tension on that tendon. ABCs are fine, keeps it moving, but yeah, get a resistance band, learn about the anatomy of the peroneal or fibularis tendon, and do motions for that muscle. Future doctor. Interview for PT Tech tomorrow. Go in there and be confident. And what I say that, what I want you to do as your homework for tomorrow is go watch any podcast on YouTube. And that's what I mean by be confident. So how I'm on screen right now is how I want you to be. How I'm answering your questions is how I want you to answer the questions. How they are relaxed and they're making jokes and they're comfortable and they're taking pauses for their answer and they're not trying to BS and they're not trying to say the perfect thing and they're not super stiff and, oh my God. I want you to be like the podcast that you watch or like the YouTube video that you watch. That's the best advice I can give. And once you are relaxed, once you are confident, and once you are like the podcast that you watch, then the combo just flows. You ask them questions, they ask you questions, they get to know you, they like your personality, they see how you smile. They just want to know, are you going to be good with the team that we already have? And if you're chill, then they know that you're most likely going to be good with the rest of the team. But if you're like, oh, I don't know, then they don't really have a good reading on what they're really getting, on how you'll be in a normal day setting. So, yeah, easier said than done. I know, but that's the best answer I can give. All right, guys, look out for me on, Sunday? Sign up for the masterclass, leveluptheprept.com, www.leveluptheprept.com. We got over 800 people. 800 people signed up, so make sure you save your seat, leveluptheprept.com. Got the masterclass going on. Everybody loves this masterclass. It's the acceptance masterclass, so save your seat. How do you strengthen your app? Follow us, watch all of our content, consume all our stuff, binge watch us. Start with the playlist, how to stand out in 3 minutes or less. That's what I want you to do. Start with how to stand out in 3 minutes or less on our YouTube channel. Start with that. But that's what our whole thing is about. How to strengthen your application. Just everything. Or also what you can do is sign up for the masterclass is what you need to do. That's how we'll tell you how to strengthen your application, ways that you haven't thought of before. You can also go to our Instagram. We're speaking on Saturday for UC Davis. They're opening up to everybody. Just drown yourself in what we have and you'll learn a lot. So, all right, guys, see y'all next time and we're out.